she is immediately the most entertaining person at this table.
I want to ask you about imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And when did you get past that, or where did you deal with that at all yourself?
Absolutely deal with it. Everybody deals with it. Everybody gets to a point where they feel like, yo, do I belong? Right? Do I deserve to be in the most important spaces? And I've been very, very fortunate to be in some incredible rooms with some people that are, some of the most powerful people from around the world. And as I said, what I realize is that when I walk in those rooms, I cannot question if I'm supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I need to realize, what is it that I have that nobody else in this room has? And how can I double down on that? Right? So, Black man, African-American filmmaker in Hollywood, not a lot of folks at my level in the rooms that I'm in. Oftentimes, it's all white people in those rooms.
So let's start here. This is Will Packer, famous Black producer, produced some legendary movies we all know. And when I listened to this interview today, the first person I thought about was Jasmine Crockett. And I hope that she's watching this interview. Because the whole thing last week with her argument was felt that she wasn't getting paid the right way. She felt that, being a Black woman with all her education, and she felt like she had more education than even some people in the room. But I also feel that could be a form of imposter syndrome. But also, I like how Will unpack this, no pun intended. I like how Will unpack this because he didn't really fall on the imposter syndrome too much, because a lot of people want to have a way out. But what he relied on is that knowing that I have something that placed me into this room with people who do not look like me, and now I have to prove why I'm in here. And some people might call that code switching or things of this nature. Or I know some people who are going to complain about, oh, we shouldn't have to do all that. We shouldn't have to work harder than others. But then you complain about not getting equal pay or equal benefits or things that the other person is getting. But with that being said, you have to now explain to the room and continue to explain to the room. When I mean explain, I mean show, demonstrate to the room why you're in this room. You're in this room because something sets you apart from others. And sometimes we're so concerned with not seeing people that look like us in the room that we push ourselves out of the room. And as I always tell people, the ultimate rebellion is excellence. That's something that I got from Andy Frisella from First Form. The ultimate rebellion is excellence. Being so great at what I do that it causes other people to second guess themselves. They start to be more intimidated by your presence. This happened a lot in my career in the Air Force, a lot. Because one thing for me is I'm a reader. So I read everything. So when you come to me about operations and instructions, and then, because a lot of leaders like to make comments because they're leaders, but then when you follow up like, hey, ma'am or sir, that's not accurate. That's not what it says. Then you show them the guidance, and then you're going back and forth. Now you come off to be the arrogant Black man in the room or the angry Black man. And that's okay. And I always told myself that I would rather be right and provide people the right information than liked any day. Because if I continue to lie to you or just give you what you want to hear, that's not going to improve anyone in that room. So I like how Will unpacked it, saying like, hey, this is why, we have to be in the room, but you also have to show why you're in the room. And let's see a little bit more of what he has to say.
What I choose to do, instead of saying, okay, I'm the only Black person in this room, I know they racist, I know they looking at me a certain way, I know they have a negative perception. I'm walking in the room and I'm thinking, okay, you know what? I'm bringing something that nobody else can bring. Mm-hmm. When I talk about my perspective, when I talk about my audience, when I talk about my community, nobody else can debate me on that. So I'm the only one with that lived experience. Whatever it is in the rooms and the circles that you're in, what's the unique thing that you have? And then you triple down on that. That will help with that imposter syndrome. The other thing is that you have to understand, like, You don't have to be somebody that's just born with like an overabundance of confidence. It's something that you can build, but you do have to build it by putting a success with a success with a success, right? Like just like A Ball MJG said, check with a check with a check. You got to build the successes. And sometimes to do that, you got to come back and not say, okay, my first success has to be so big, right? Just a
And I like what he said there. You have to build on success. And I'm starting to hear a lot of, well, I have this degree and I have another degree in this. That's not success, y'all. Graduating college and getting paper is not success. It's something that's great, but success is what you do after you receive that document. Once you get into that room, like Anton Daniel said it best, your degree is nothing but your entry into the department. That degree is like your lease. Now that you got this apartment, you still have to pay every month. You have to keep it clean. You have to continue to build on it so that your credit gets better. It's the same thing with a degree. You have to continue to build upon that degree and show one success after another success after another success. Just because you have a piece of paper that calls you a doctor, just because you have a piece of paper that says you have a master's degree or a bachelor's degree or associate's degree, that doesn't matter. That's just your entry into the concert. That's just your admission. Now you have to take that and build upon that. And I feel a lot of times some of you guys get your education, then you get into a room and then you want to go get more education. And as you're getting more education, you're actually taking more time away from building on your craft and actually being the person that you want the room to see you as. And then it takes away from what you feel that you should be earning. So I really love what Will Packard said there. He goes on later to talk about later in his book about everybody needs that one white guy. And he just talks about the power of having an advocate. And in his world, it was a white guy who actually advocated for him. And you know what I really like the most about it is that he was okay to say that it's okay to need help. And it's okay to need someone to advocate for you. Because if you listen to Malcolm Gladwell's book, which I mentioned earlier on one of my previous videos, Outliers, he talks about everybody needs an opportunity to be successful. No one is successful on their own. They're only successful when the hard work that they put in comes in conjunction with opportunity, and then you're ready for that opportunity. So I highly encourage you guys to watch the rest of this video. Listen to Will Packer, a lot of great information. I'll definitely be going to get his book. It's called Who Better Than You. I'll definitely be listening to it, taking some gems from it. With that being said, I highly encourage you guys to definitely build upon your successes. Know that it's feasible. Just like me here on YouTube, right? You know, I'm not getting paid for any of this yet, and I will in the future. Because what I'm going to do is build upon success, but upon success, upon success. And success is one person watching a video. That means it caught one person's attention. Now what I needed to do is catch millions of attentions. And the best way to do that is for you to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as I always say, God loves you, which is most importantly. I love you. You're beautiful, and your boy's out. Let go.
Life is complicated when you count this paper. Yeah, girl, I wanna see you, but I'll see you later. Yeah, there's too much going on, girl, just do me a favor. Yeah, girl, I know you love me, but you know I can't date you. Yeah, you know I'm a rich, I ain't got no neighbors. But I get millions.